Good morning. Well, if you saw my last video about the Sony Trinitron there, you'll know I bought both of these at an estate sale a couple of weeks ago. And the first video focused on the Trinitron. Now I think we'll go ahead and take a look at the Panasonic PV-1100 VHS VCR. Alright, this came with the operating instructions. This is from 1978. And we'll look at the specifications there. You can pause your YouTube screen to look at those. I think one thing I thought was interesting about this, well, many things, but I came across this page tournament recording, and I couldn't, when I first read the headline, I didn't quite know what that was, and until I realized this was 1978, and Atari and Pong, big video game tournaments. No online tournaments, of course, but people wanted to record their games even back then. So, this is a 40-pound monster. And on the back, I'm not going to turn it around, there's just the antenna connections, some RCA audio and video input-output jacks, the channel 3-4 selector, and the little input jack for the wired remote control, which does nothing but pause and play. So, the front cover, you have your tracking control and your SP or LP switch. This does not do EP, and you'll notice this is an OmniVision 4. If you had an OmniVision 6, I think that would be the 6-hour version, and it was don't remember what number that was, maybe the 1200 or 1250 or something like that. So here's your on and off switch. And this little do button here, if you've got condensation inside, you have to let it warm up until that light goes out. 70s wood grain cabinet. Over here you have your automatic fine-tuning lamp, which you set your fine-tuning lamp on or off here. You set it off when you're adjusting your fine-tuning, and then you put it on. Down here you have an input for your tuner or a camera with a mic input here to dub audio, and I might try that if we can arrange it. Your dial selectors for UHF and VHF, and when you press in this, you get your fine-tuning. So you would have this off and then do your fine-tuning and then turn that back on. Your numbers, I don't know if we'll be able to see that here. Your counter with a memory switch to always go to 00. If you're going to watch the screen or the tape recorder. Here you have your clock, and back here inside is adjustments for the clock and to set the timer recording, which I think we'll do in just a few minutes. Along the front you have your eject, rewind, stop, fast forward, play and record, and audio dub when you do want to use that microphone feature, or the audio input from the back, or a pause. Now, one thing this recorder does not do, it doesn't have a cue or a review for fast forward or reverse. So you can never see what you're looking at going forward or backwards. It removes the tape from the heads. Alright, let's try and look down here and see what we have inside. We're probably not going to see too much. Alright, if it's 1978 and you were going to record a show like the Rockford Files, we'll try that out here. Fortunately, the Rockford Files is on METV at 11 o'clock. So we'll put the tape in here. Now this is going to get a little awkward here. I might have to adjust some things here. The screen counter is right back there. Right now it's set to time to show the time on the clock. Then there's a switch for the timer to stop, and there's another one that's hard to see for the timer to start. Then over here you have, if this is on, the recorder is actually off, but it's ready to record. Then you have your fast forward. You can set your clock fast forward, time, or reverse there. So to start with, we'll go to the timer off position, or timer start position. We want to start it, at 11. Too far back. Come on back. We want to stop it at 12. Okay, then we move this switch to on. First we set the timer back to the actual clock. Then we move this switch to on, which actually has now turned the power off to the machine. We set this to play and record. So I'll try to remember to come back here at 11 and catch it starting to record and then stopping again at 12. Alright, we're getting close to start here. I don't know if I pointed out before, but you can see that the timer record light is on. And there we go. So we'll come back at noon and see if it shuts off right. Now this should be shutting off momentarily. There we go. I'll get back to this video later. Alright, we have time to get back to the video here. You can see by looking at the counter that it did move. Now the timer recording is still on, so it will record again tomorrow at those same times unless I turn it off. And there's really no power to the VCR until I move this switch from on to off. And I want to set this to the VTR. And the power's on right now, so let's rewind here and see what we get. I'll edit all this timer stuff out. Alright, let's see what happens when we press play. Hope I can get this camera right so it gets a good picture. It's Perry Mason. I must have started a little early.
You're watching Memorable Entertainment Television. MeTV, Indianapolis.
Been sending him money in the mail. $44,000 in 2 days. Well, why don't I just keep the whole thing? I want to be healthy. A man who gets caught with...
I like on the Rockford Files how each episode starts with a funny phone message on his answering machine.
This is Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
This is Toby. I forgot what I was calling for. Your recording is so boring. Spike it with some humor, some personality, something.
Try a little fast forward here.
Ladies and gentlemen, now that your local champion has been established,
Fast forward
let's proceed with
doesn't
the fight.
have contact with the head, so
Last one. Rockford, Joseph. Let's go.
really the picture is great. This stupid video camera just for some reason does not want to pick up. There, a little bit is right.
Frank, I don't know.
I don't know why it won't pick up the picture right usually. Let's try our little pause button here. Show you what that does. Press to stop and the whole screen goes blank. And press to start, it just comes back. Alright, I have an old videotape from the mid-90s of an ocean cruise from some senior citizens. So we're going to put a little TIAC microphone in here. We're going to switch this from tuner to camera. And we're going to press play here. And then we're going to press pause real quick. And we're going to press audio dub. And we can try out the audio here while we're in pause to get our levels right. I'm kind of close to the TV speaker, so this might not be the best spot for it. But we'll then release pause. And we'll tape over our little ocean cruise here. So let's just stop this. We'll pause it again, and we'll see what we got.
Due to the inclement weather and the aggravating attendance and other unforeseen circumstances, I reluctantly admit.
And we'll tape over our little ocean cruise here. I always think it's neat how in the commercials there's all these young, beautiful people on the cruise, but on the real cruises it seems to be mostly senior citizens. So they're going to Panama and Costa Rica here. So let's just stop this, we'll pause it again, and we'll see what we got. Alright, well that didn't come out too bad. So that's most of the functions, timer recording, playback, use a little pause control, audio dubbing, just about everything that this recorder does, and it still seems to do it pretty well. So that's the Panasonic PV-1100 from 1978. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.